shot. Ground shot that is stopped and picked up. Whistle blows as Mike Farrell gathers in the pass.
The referees are going to call a penalty, a 1-minute penalty, I believe, against MLC as a Long Island player is down on the crease. And we'll take a look at this instant replay as Harold McVeigh, the man with the last goal for Long Island, comes around the goal, and he's going to be smashed. Boom. Sandwiched between 3 men.
Scott Edmonds mainly was the guy who lowered the boom on him. 12:18 left in the first half. It's a 4-4 ball game for the Club Lacrosse Championship between the Maryland Lacrosse Club and the Long Island Lacrosse Club. And as Joe Harlan indicated earlier, even at the point when it was 4-1, it appeared that the momentum was shifting in the direction of Long Island, and they have scored 3 unanswered goals to tie it. Maryland on the move. George Parks with the ball. Passes it back to Radebaugh, and here on the near side once again to Parks. Back once more to the top of the box where Radebaugh passes. They just keep passing it around in a triangle, trying to weave their way in. It doesn't work, and Long Island takes over. Bringing it in for Long Island, number 35 is Steve Kempa. He's also a good face-off man.
Not only did he interrupt the extra man plays, he takes a shot there, but he also drew a penalty. As we pointed out before on that crunching play on Harold McVeigh, Maryland was detected for a 1-minute penalty. And now we'll watch as the clear is made. He's going to draw a penalty at the same time and bring the ball into the box. So a little bit of a clothesline across the neck as the MLC player Sheldon Freed looks the other way like he's not guilty. So Long Island has turned it around. They're now an extra man for a minute.
And goaltender takes over as Kevin Mahan has the ball and clears it nicely out to midfield. Number 21 is Bob Drever. And the move is, well, there's a whistle. They turn it around.
And it's an offside penalty. It's going to go against MLC. And it's not a delayed whistle because it's against the team that had possession. And therefore, with a wide open goal, MLC prevented from, in the person of Jimmy D'Arcangelo, from breaking this 4-4 tie.
Well, anytime I see a guy that clear up the field, I got to guess maybe there was an offside.
Taking a look at Coach Charlie Marshall, his full-time profession is a Colonel Marshall in the National Guard for Maryland, where he does a very fine job.
And another whistle as Kevin Huff crossed midfield. The whistle blew once again.
And we see the coach for Long Island walking on the field asking a question here. And he's asking for ruling. We don't see a timeout having been called yet. But as we look now, it has been a timeout. And with a timeout in the field, we'll be back in a moment after this message.
Monday at 7:30 on Channel 13, Evening Magazine catches up with Rocky. Hi, I'm Dave Sisson. You'll find Sylvester Stallone hard at work making his new movie, Rocky II. Also, an unusual balancing act. No, not tightrope artists, but painters. They've got to have nerves of steel to work in high places. And tips on watering your garden. Monday at 7:30 on Evening Magazine, right after the numbers game on Channel 13.
Toyota City is still offering grand opening sale prices on hundreds of new Toyotas, Triumphs, and MGs at 717 Ritchie Highway. The sale price for a new 79 Corolla at Toyota City is only $3,699, and you have your choice. Pay only $24 down or $24 per month. Remember, Toyota City has all Toyota models, including the new Supra, in stock, plus Triumphs, MGs, all ready for immediate delivery. Now's the time to buy and save at Toyota City, 717 Ritchie Highway, Glen Burnie.
Well, every time you get the idea it's going to be an exceedingly high-scoring game, it kind of settles down a little bit. So this one could go just about anyway. Right now it's 4-4 with 11:18 remaining in the second quarter. As we record this, and you're seeing it on a delayed videotape, the sun is just about disappeared here over the rim of the stadium at campus, the campus at Towson State.
And you know, Jim, it's a pleasure, and I've got to put in a plug for a guy that's done a lot for lacrosse, and that's Sheldon Schimmer, the director of this game. We didn't think we were going to be able to go on the air because of the lighting situation. He did something very unique with the cameras, and I think you're seeing some of perhaps the best shots you've ever seen in lacrosse tonight.
And a pretty good lacrosse game, too, between Maryland and Long Island as the Islanders are on the attack in this 4-4 game. Good move to keep it in, but Maryland takes over on a steal back there behind the goal by Bob Rich. And Maryland brings it up quickly. Number 21 moving in is Grebe. Grebe fires a pass and gets it off, and there's the return. There's a drive that is knocked aside.
MLC alertly backing up the goal, so they have the ball. Jim, this game looks like once they deadlocked it at 4-4, both teams got very defensive-minded.
They sure did, and that undoubtedly accounts for the fact that they have tightened up considerably since the tying goal. Maryland trying to race over and get control, but that was not a shot, and Long Island gets possession. Number 00, Tony Patillo, played his ball at Hofstra. Big guy, 6'2".
I think we ought to nickname him Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, Patillo.
And here comes the defenseman racing in. Nobody picking him up.
And he set it up nicely, and there is a shot that runs into heavy traffic in front of the goal, and Maryland takes over. The Maryland Lacrosse Club on the attack. They in the blue jerseys. On the move, number 32 is being wrapped up. He's Matisic.
We've got a delayed penalty here, and MLC's got a chance to shoot.
Matisic passes, and he can't get it away cleanly, and finally that whistle blows when Maryland loses possession.
It's going to be an offsides against Long Island. Maryland Lacrosse Club had possession. It's a technical foul, but of course, with possession, if you're the offended team, you get the ball at extra man for 30 seconds. So MLC finds itself with a golden opportunity to break this 4-4 tie. Joe Harlan, along with Jim West, in a game videotaped some hours earlier at Towson State, the United States Club Lacrosse Championship, the Long Island Athletic Club versus MLC, the Maryland Lacrosse Club, in a 4-4 thriller.
And predictably, Darkangelo comes back in. He was getting a breather on the sidelines. He and Radebaugh like to work to set up this extra man offense, and also out there with him at the top of the box is George Parks, and the three of them work very beautifully together. This is Parks along the near side, passing it off behind as the Maryland team tries to break this 4-4 deadlock. Radebaugh at the top of the box, moves it over to the near side and off behind. And there's the goal.
A beautiful cut. Beautiful cut by Darkangelo off the backside, and all that means is they move the ball around until the far side is uncovered. Darky sees it. The ball is going behind. The attackman's looking for Darky to cut. Here comes Darky, boom, naked on the crease, and puts it to the right side of Bill Barossa. So MLC goes on top 5-4, Jim.
And Jim Darkangelo has just scored his third goal of this lacrosse game, which is not at all unusual for him. I believe he had 5 goals and 2 assists in the game just the other day.
That's correct. He's a very prolific scorer.
9:47 remaining in the first half of this 5-4 game. Maryland has never trailed. They were caught, but now they've taken the lead once again, and here they come as Darkangelo moves in once more, feeds over to the far side, and this time they got him covered.
Darky does it all. He's a good assist man as well as a goal man. He plays good defense, and he's a fine team player and also a fine individual.
Obviously, it means a lot to him, too, to be playing on this surface out here because he is a graduate of Towson State. This is Darkangelo with the ball, weaving for an opportunity to get a shot or a pass away, and he's being contained pretty well. There is a stop. And Darkangelo is pushed away from the ball as it is taken over by Long Island once again, number 35, Steve Krimpa, who just about everything for them. Faces off and sets things up and has control of the ball right now.
Bobby Grebe is part of the reason, as we look at Coach Charlie Marshall for MLC, part of the reason for Darkangelo's success. Grebe had nominated twice Attackman of the Year last year. Didn't even get a nomination this year. It's because he's so unselfish.
This is Mike Thurl on the near side, number 11. Thurl, as he spins away from his opposite number 11, Dave Flick, and maintains control and slows things down as they change midfield. Long Island on the move. Steve Krempa with the ball. Krempa trying to weave his way in. Dislodged, and Maryland takes over. And Radebaugh can't handle the errant pass, but it is picked up nevertheless as Maryland has control. Maryland leading 5-4, come into the box once again. There's a wide shot. And Maryland races over to get there first and didn't work out. A good hustle that time by Long Island. Principally, that time Ray Mills went over, and his hustle means that Long Island gets control of the ball.
Ray Mills, looking like the fine track star that he is, came right down the sidelines and beat the MLC player, much to, I think, everyone's surprise. Good hustle shown. So Long Island gets a nice turnover right now, and they sure want possession of this ball, trailing 5-4.
A lot of the players on the Maryland Lacrosse Club played their college ball here at Towson State, just as a lot of the Long Island players played on Long Island at Hofstra University.
This is a true North-South classic. There's a lot of respect between these teams and not a whole lot of love lost.
And here comes Long Island on the move once again as a beautiful feed gets away. As passing that one nicely that time was number 23, Ralph Fogger, who played his college ball at New Hampshire. They battle at the top of the box in the Maryland end of the field, and Maryland takes it away. Moving on the near side once again is Doug Radebaugh. Maryland setting it up once more. They lead by 5-4. Weaving for position out in front and trying to break away out there is Grebe. And there's a flag.
Oh, goal. A beautiful behind-the-back goal by Bobby Grebe. Knew he had the penalty, knew he could waste a shot, and he took a super hot dog shot. Watch it. Coming around the goal, he knows he has a penalty now. He's got nothing to lose. A little bit back over his head. Watch him now. He's going to roll. And here he goes. The man's on him. Just watch it. There he rolls around. Boom.
Oh, beautiful. Love that replay.
And that replay shows us how wrong we can be, because that was Michael Hines that made that goal. Let's give him the credit.
Okay. Well, that was gorgeous. That was gorgeous. That's Hines' second goal of the game. So that makes it 6-4 with Maryland in the lead. 7:16 remaining in the first half of this club championship game at Towson State. And Maryland gets control as it's picked up by Doug Radebaugh. And another goal for Maryland.
Maryland really jumping on top after Long Island, for what reason I don't know, called a timeout when they had it 4-4, and we'll take a look at it again. Once again, some super work here. We haven't missed a goal yet on instant replay. Bam! Right over Burroughs' shoulder. And I'll tell you, Burroughs is a darn good goalie, and that's a very fine shot that gets by him.
So it's a 7-4 game with 7:06 remaining in the half. Grebe scoring for Maryland, 7-4. And here comes the Maryland attack once again. And another goal. Driving that one home with Radebaugh.
Dougie Radebaugh, super young man, transferred from Mount Washington lacrosse team, an All-American at the University of Maryland. His brother, an All-American at Johns Hopkins University. Coming down, right-handed, cranking, coming back, almost getting a check on him, almost, and wham!
So it is now an 8-4 game with 6:57 left in the first half. We'll be back in a moment.
Monday at 7:30 on Channel 13, Evening Magazine catches up with Rocky. Hi, I'm Dave Sisson. You'll find Sylvester Stallone hard at work making his new movie, Rocky 2. Also, an unusual balancing act. No, not tightrope artists, but painters. They've got to have nerves of steel to work in high places. And tips on watering your garden. Monday at 7:30 on Evening Magazine, right after the numbers game on Channel 13.
Preceding gasoline station was brought to you by Crown, because we think a gas station should be a good neighbor, too.
An explosion by the Maryland Lacrosse Club of 4 unanswered goals has broken a 4-4 tie, and it's an 8-4 game with 6:57 remaining in this first half.
There's Arlie Marshall. He's looking concerned. He knows this game is far from over. He had a 4-1 lead before, and he saw it vanish on him. His team has gone up again by 4 goals now, 8-4, and he's very, very concerned. I used to play for Arlie as well as coach with him, and Arlie hates it when he's ahead. He'd rather be either tied or maybe 1 goal behind, because he thinks the teams have a tendency to relax a little bit. When we look at Tommy Flatley, he's clearly upset. He doesn't like being down to this team after they fought to come from behind.
How does Arlie Marshall feel when he's ahead at the end of the game?
He feels very, very good.
Does he?
Feels very good.
Well, here comes the attack once again by Maryland, as a shot that time by Radebaugh is wide. And quickly turned around by the Islanders as they bring it in. Long Island down by 4 goals with 6.5 minutes left in the half. Number 33 for the Islanders is Harold McVeigh. Out to the top of the box where he gets it to Ryland Highview as they weave their way in. 16 is Fraser. Broken up. Maryland on the attack. There's a shot that is stopped with that left-handed blast that time. It's turned aside. We got a number 22 out there for Maryland that is not on our roster that we'll have to pick up. And we will. Biding their time while the midfield changes. 5:35 remaining in the first half. And Tom Nelson is number 22. Thanks, folks. Tom Nelson is number 22 for Maryland. He was listed as 23. Okay. And out of bounds and in the control of Long Island. 5:18 remaining in the first half. 8-4 Maryland.
Long Island will want to get a couple more goals here. They don't want to go into halftime being down 4.
So they set it up again as Kevin Huff has it at the top of the box. Kevin Huff of Hofstra, shot wide.
I want to remind our viewers that we have 2 very interesting things coming up at halftime. One is an interview with Henry Ciccarone Jr., and another one is an exciting exclusive announcement about the International Lacrosse Games.
Long Island on the move as Jim Teton tries to set it up over in the far side. His pass is deflected and the race is on, and Maryland gets there first, but
I think they're going to rule that that was off a Maryland Lacrosse Club defenseman's stick, Jim, and we're going to see Long Island again with an opportunity to try and chip away at this 8-4 lead that MLC built up in this quarter.
It was so sudden. It was 4-4, and the next thing you knew, you blink your eyes a couple times, it was 8-4. That's how quickly Maryland jumped on top.
All off the face-off, too.
Judson Smith, I think, went through that crease.
You're absolutely right. Bob Slinger, the referee, right on the play, agrees with you, Jim, and so it's going to be a turnover, a technical non-possession penalty. So MLC will take possession now, leading 8-4. Long Island's going to have to do something to get back as we look right now and see him clearly in the crease. Watch as he turns around. Watch his foot. There it is. Just have to touch the line, and that's enough. Bob Slinger sees it, and he called it.
Referee's right on top of play here as we're back to the action with Maryland moving on the attack once again. Barking directions over there is Mike Farrell trying to set something up as moving around at the top of the box. The Maryland team tries to press its attack. Number 19 there is Scott Edmonds.
Mike Farrell, an All-American defenseman at Maryland, playing midfield today for Maryland Lacrosse Club. And when I say All-American defenseman at Maryland, I'm talking about the University of Maryland. It's a versatile man that changes from defense to midfield.
And it was Farrell who shot that one from the top of the box. Maryland maintains possession. Maryland Lacrosse Club leading 8-4 as Mike Hines is maneuvering for position on the far side. Pass score!
Beautiful score by, guess who? Number 10, Mike Farrell, the converted defenseman, as MLC goes up by a score of 9-4. Now let's take a look at it again, and he's happy as he can be. A feed into the crease, and a beautiful, beautiful shot.
And if you notice, Hines tried to feed overhand, and he was denied that by the defenseman. So he spun around, gave a side hand feed, and it was a beautiful pass. So it's now a 9-4 game with 3:48 remaining in the first half. Maryland leading over the Long Island Lacrosse Club. This for the Club Lacrosse Championship. And there's the face-off.
Pardon me. Long Island's going to have to start winning some face-offs here if they're going to get back in contention, and that's exactly what they've done.
That's what they did, and in control of the ball on the near side is Keith Huff from Hofstra. New midfield coming in, and number 23 is Ralph Bauger of New Hampshire. 33, who just passed that ball, is Harold McVeigh of Adelphi. Long Island trying to get back into this one, down by 9-4. As they make the move and are denied much access to that goal as they're pushed out of the box once again. Number 14 trying to weave his way in is Tom Postel, who has one of the 4 Long Island goals.
Postel, an excellent feeder as well as a shooter.
And Long Island brings it in. 3:08 remaining first half. Darkness has settled in here. This is a game that was played early this evening. You're seeing on videotape replay. Number 9 at the top of the box is John Newsy from Nassau. His pass is broken up. Maryland takes over. Scooping it up is Mike Farrell.
Long Island forcing the crease an awful lot in there, Jim. Excuse me. Looking to push that ball in the crease and get a shot off, and MLC is very aware of that.
Postel passes out to the top of the box. Weaving his way in is John Newsy once again. He drives a shot that's wide.
Long Island again, just like they did before, starting to grab the tempo back from MLC.
They got a long way to go this time, down by 5. There's a shot that is stopped. Good effort that time by Mahan.
And there's a goal. There is a goal.
It is a goal.
Very difficult to see from up here. The crease attackman stirred up a dust cloud, and thanks to some super direction here, we're going to see it. Instant replay. Bounces up. And watch it come back. Still watching. Just put it in the goal. And you look right down at the goalie's foot, just to the right of the pipe, and there you'll see the ball in there. So Long Island's making a comeback.
It is now a 9-5 game with 2:20 left in the half. And number 30 with the ball is Doug Radebaugh of Maryland. Considered to be the best face-off man in club lacrosse. Number 27, Jay Sindler, moves in, cranks up, and scores.
They're just that quick. MLC coming right back and showing that they're not going to let Long Island off the floor. As you watch this instant replay, Jay Sindler coming in, apparently unassisted, to give MLC their 11th goal of the game.
And so with 2:07 left in the half and Maryland leading 10-5, we'll be back in a moment.
Toyota City is still offering grand opening sale prices on hundreds of new Toyotas, Triumphs, and MGs at 717 Ritchie Highway. The sale price for a new 79 Corolla at Toyota City is only $3,699, and you have your choice. Pay only $24 down or $24 per month. Remember, Toyota City has all Toyota models, including the new Supra, in stock, plus Triumphs, MGs, all ready for immediate delivery. Now's the time to buy and save at Toyota City, 717 Ritchie Highway, Glen Burnie.
You know, just writing my checks used to cost money. Now there's no charge. I ask for the manager.
I used to go to different banks for checking and savings. Now I go to one. I ask for the manager.
A lot of people are asking for the manager at Union Trust, the Money Manager Plus account. Checking and savings in one monthly statement with one stop.
I'm the manager of this bank, and even I ask for the manager.
Ask for Money Manager Plus with no charge checking at Union Trust.
Okay, we're getting ready for the face-off, and here it is following that goal that made it a 10-5 game. Sombroto, by the way, had the last Long Island goal, Vinny Sombroto. And now it is going to be Maryland ball. Not Long Island, I guess they're going to get it.
There is going to be a penalty assessed here as we look down and look at Pat Lawson, the referee from up in that area, and I believe he called a 1-minute personal. So that's going to be a 1-minute extra man situation for Long Island. Slashing penalty, a personal. So Long Island will have an opportunity now to see if they can cut the lead of MLC. MLC leading by a score of 11-5. Let's make that 10-5.
And 10-5 it is, as the Maryland Lacrosse Club is on defense now as Long Island tries to cut into this 5-goal deficit. Long Island in the gold. Shot is stopped as scooping it up is Kevin Mahan, the goaltender. And Maryland takes over.
A squandered opportunity for Long Island, who sorely needs to get this game a little bit tighter before they go into the locker room at halftime.
Maryland hurriedly changes their midfield here. And the Long Island goaltender takes over, but his pass is an errant one as it comes out toward midfield, and a struggle for the ball finds Long Island flipping it high into the air. And Maryland takes over, but unable to handle it there as he's knocked aside as D'Arcangelo, and there's a whistle.
It's going to be a pushing penalty, and it's going to go against Long Island. So MLC will have an opportunity to have possession of the ball once again. Long Island down by a score of 10-5 as there's a timeout on the field.
Well, so far, this has been a strange game in that Maryland jumped very quickly on top, 3-0, then 4-1. And it became a 4-4 game when Long Island came through, and then those quick goals were reeled off by Maryland, and they hold a 10-5 advantage right now.
Maryland reeled off 5 unanswered goals after McVeigh, as we look down to a troubled Flatley down there, the Long Island coach, trying to get his team back together. After McVeigh knotted the score at 4-all, that seemed to upset the Maryland Lacrosse Club, who started winning a lot of face-offs and had 5 unanswered goals in the persons of D'Arcangelo, Himes, Grebe, Radabaugh, and then Mike Farrell. Mike Farrell, of course, a converted defenseman. And then San Bruto went in the goal that we saw. It was very difficult to see except for the instant replay. And then Sindler came right back. San Bruto, of course, playing for Long Island, to their second goal of the second quarter. And Sindler, as if upset by that for MLC, came back and made it 10-5.
Joe, you were a defenseman. Give us an insight into what the transition is like in the case of Farrell, who is making the move from defense to midfield.
Well, it's not so much the position as it is the individual. You have to be a very, very good athlete to do that. A defenseman in the past was traditionally a guy that was not perhaps as quick as an attackman or a midfielder and was much better at playing position. Of course, a lot of that's changed now. The defenseman traditionally was a huge guy, which Farrell is, but now we see a lot of smaller defensemen. But primarily, Jim, it's the individual, not the position. He's got to be a super athlete to do that. Sheldon Freed is another player down there who plays for Maryland Lacrosse Club, who also can play midfield as well as defense.
I see what may be a parallel to that in hockey, in that the old hockey defenseman used to be perhaps not as mobile until the era of a Bobby Orr came along, and he changed the whole pattern of defensemen in hockey.
And we see Mike Farrell on screen right now. Again, a former first-team All-American from the University of Maryland.
And we get back to the action as a backhander is stopped, and the Long Island team takes over. Just 45 seconds remaining in this half as Long Island is down by 10-5, but are on the move. And there's a shot that is wide. Letting that one fly was number 44, Kevin Huff, member of the All-USA team from Hofstra. 33 seconds remaining in the half. Long Island would love to try to get something on the scoreboard here before the half ends. They're down by 5 goals. Joe Harlan is on his way upstairs. He'll be talking during halftime with a couple of interesting guests. We suggest you keep tuned for that. Here's a wide shot. Long Island will maintain control with 16 seconds remaining in the half. On the move once again, Long Island, number 40, Teton. And knocked away by Maryland and recovered by the Maryland Lacrosse Club out toward midfield with the whistle blowing and 1 second only remaining in the half. And the time is up. And at the half, it is the Maryland Lacrosse Club leading by a score of 10-5 over Long Island in the club championship lacrosse game. This is Jim West with Joe Harlan, and we'll be back in just a few moments for the halftime activities and interviews with Joe.
Where Wherever you find a famous face, you'll find a paparazzi. His camera, a gutsy Olympus. He uses Olympus because when you're after people who don't look up and say cheese, you need a camera this light and compact, not to mention this versatile. That's why so many professionals count on rugged Olympus cameras. They know Olympus brings the news back for the front page. You know our pictures. Now you know our name, Olympus.
Would you have an abortion if you knew the child you were carrying was mongoloid? Meet a woman who did. On Mondays, People Are Talking.
And get a 3-week beauty makeover from the Adrienne Arpel on Tuesday.
Wednesday, find out the good news for families with premature babies.
And get tips on carefree party giving on Thursday.
Friday, meet a man who has evidence that Jesus Christ was resurrected.
Plus dialing for dollars and People Are Trading and lots more.
That's all coming up on Channel 13's People Are Talking, weekdays at 10.
Well, with halftime score here, Maryland Lacrosse Club up surprisingly 10-5 over the Long Island Athletic Club, a very explosive club. It's come from behind. We have as one of our halftime guests, Henry Ciccarone, Jr. And Chick, as your friends call you, you're up here not because you're Henry Ciccarone's son, but because you're a great athlete in your own right. We're very proud of you. You made first-team All-Maryland this year at Boys Latin School, but let's talk a little bit about Boys Latin and the really amazing season they had. Your coach, Mr. Warfield, who has really done a super job with Boys Latin, they weren't expected to do as well as they did this year, and he won MSA Coach of the Year. How'd you guys do it?
Well, at the beginning of the season, Mr. Holland, everybody just, they counted us out, and our team just got together, and we just said that we were going to, get to the championship finals, and that's what we did. And we're just, we lost to a great team, St. Paul's, and we're just happy that we did make it to the finals.
Well, you've seen the style of lacrosse here in club lacrosse between the North and the South. Do you, as a player, see a particular variance between the two styles of the clubs out here tonight?
Well, high school-wise, tonight, I can see different styles. I feel Maryland Lacrosse Club, it's a lot of teamwork, and they'll draw a man and just pass, and it's the next thing you know, it's a goal. And as for Long Island, I feel they're more one-on-one, and they like,
Let me ask you this. Has it been difficult for you, and this is a personal question, growing up with your father being a coach of an NCAA champion, or really in having coached most of his life, or has that been of value to you as a player?
That's helped me out tremendously. It's with my father's coach and just assistant coach for 6 years, and now he's head coach. He's taught me more than more than anybody could, and it's really helped me out a lot, and that's why today I'm really looking forward to going to Johns Hopkins and playing under him.
Well, that was my next question. Of course, what you said is what every father loves to hear, and I think everything you say about your dad is correct. He's a fantastic guy. You are going to go to where next year?
Johns Hopkins, yes.
Do you think you're going to be able to make the team?
Yes, I feel I'll make the team.
Is it going to be a conflict for you playing for your father, seriously, Chick?
No. I know all the players really well, and we went on a trip the past summer with the players, and I'm just looking forward to it. And if I'm putting this, if my father's putting a spot, he has assistant coaches, and the players are going to tell me if I should be playing or not. And I don't think there's going to be any conflict at all.
Just briefly, do you think Johns Hopkins can go undefeated again next year?
Yes, sir, Mr. Harlan. We're going to go undefeated again.
We'll be back in a few seconds with another halftime interview and an exclusive here on WJZ regarding the international games.
Just writing my checks used to cost money. Now there's no charge. I asked for the manager.
I used to go to different banks for checking and savings. Now I go to one. I ask for the manager.
A lot of people are asking for the manager at Union Trust, the Money Manager Plus account. Checking and savings in one monthly statement with one stop.
I'm the manager of this bank, and even I ask for the manager.
Ask for Money Manager Plus with no charge checking at Union Trust.
Toyota City is still offering grand opening sale prices on hundreds of new Toyotas, Triumphs, and MGs at 717 Ritchie Highway. The sale price for a new 79 Corolla at Toyota City is only $3,699, and you have your choice. Pay only $24 down or $24 per month. Remember, Toyota City has all Toyota models, including the new Supra, in stock, plus Triumphs, MGs, all ready for immediate delivery. Now's the time to buy and save at Toyota City, 717 Ritchie Highway, Glen Burnie.
We're back at halftime. Maryland Lacrosse Club, of course, in the lead 10-5, and we'll be back with all the action in a few minutes. But I have some additional halftime guests. Bob Smith, the president of the United States Club Lacrosse Association, and no stranger to those in the lacrosse and insurance world, Buzzy Emil Budnitz, who is an All-American at Johns Hopkins and a Club All-Star player and the commissioner of the Club Lacrosse Association. First, Bob, are you surprised as president of the league, having seen these teams before at the variance in score at halftime?
Very surprised, Joe. I, in fact, picked Long Island to beat Maryland today, based on the fact that Long Island had beaten Mount Washington handily and then dispatched Bryan last week by about 10 goals. However, Long Island has failed to get their legs back from the long trip, the bus trip that took them down here this morning. And I'm not sure if they'll ever get them back at this point, being down by 5 goals at halftime.
Well, of course, you're aware that that's exactly what they did do against Maryland Lacrosse Club when they played them up there. Do you think it is a possibility for Long Island really to come back in this game?
Long Island needs to get the ball more. They've only had the ball probably in 30 minutes. They've only had it about 6 or 7 minutes the entire half. When they've had it, they've been able to score. But with Doug Radeball getting the face-offs and with Dark Angelo controlling the offense, Maryland has simply taken the offense away from Long Island.
Buzzy, as commissioner of the United States Club Lacrosse Association, you also have another role, and I think you were picked primarily because of your involvement in lacrosse. You're the head of the committee in this area for the international games. I understand you have an exclusive announcement to tell us, something very good for the Baltimore area.
Yes, Joe, I'm very excited about it. The World Lacrosse Games will be held in Baltimore in 1982. We'll have the other 3 countries, Canada and England and the Australians here playing, and I just think it's great for lacrosse and more, actually, even specifically for the city of Baltimore and the state of Maryland to have the games right here. You know, they're played in the United States only once every 16 years, and this will be a great opportunity for the people here in Baltimore to see the games, have the excitement. It'll follow the club championships in 1982 for a 2-week period, and we're very excited about it. And everybody that I've asked to participate in this, including you and Bob, have been very helpful, very receptive, so it should be a great game.
Well, Bob, of course, and Buzzy also, we have a score to settle because Canada upset the United States in the 78 games in which, Buzzy, you and I were in attendance in England. And, Robert, on that score, let's talk very briefly about next week's All-Star game against the Canadian team.
U.S. Club Lacrosse Association All-Stars will be playing the Canadian national team next Saturday, 2:30 p.m. at Westchester Community College in Westchester, New York. And we hope to bring the interim World Championship back to Baltimore and back to the USCLA on Saturday.
When quickly, Buzzy, will these games be played in terms of dates? Do you know specifically?
Well, I think, Joe, it'll be at the middle of June to the end of June, right after the club championships game in 1982. And they'll be played. We think the site will be the Baltimore area, and we haven't picked the actual site where the games will be played specifically as far as what field is concerned.
Thank you, Buzzy Budnitz. Thank you, Bob Smith. We'll be back for more of the exciting second-half action in the United States Club Lacrosse Championships coming to you from Towson State University.